Hello again, all you wonderful people, and welcome to Green Hell. My name is Will the Ecologist, and this is an Ecologist Plays. Now, as you can see, we are back in the Amazonian rainforest, and we have last time built a little shelter over this dryer here. We have made a little save spot here, a little place to sleep, and we are basically ready to go and explore a bit. So let's see again, just to recap, our objective is to find help and to check the Lambda 2 location. And also then to make and drink ayahuasca to restore our memory. Now, ayahuasca is a hallucinogenic drink that does to some extent, it's used by people to cope with traumatic experiences or to, basically cope with trauma. Now, in our case, we are having quite a traumatic experience. In our case, we have a very noisy toad close to us. And we obviously don't know what on earth happened to us. We are in the middle of nowhere. We now have a map, finally. We are over here. We need to find out what the Lambda 2 location is. And basically find out where we are, what we are doing. The usual survival type of thing. Now we've got a nice banana over here which we can take. We have to be quite careful. There can be quite a few dangerous creatures around, including freshwater stingrays, which I know there was one that swam past here a moment ago. For now, however, I think let's get some meat. There we go. We just managed to kill the largest rodent on Earth, the capybara. Interestingly enough, and there's the stingray swimming right over here, the capybara's scientific name actually means water pig, water pig. The genus name and the species name both mean water pig, because they kind of resemble pigs, even though they are not related to pigs whatsoever, but they are water loving, hence the name water pig, water pig. So we are just going to dry the meat for now. And then we will head out. Now again, where we are at this little place here. We need to go directly east from where we are. And if we look at our little compass, that is in that general direction. And we should then reach the Lambda 2 location. Now we still need a source of fresh water. And one of the best ways to get that would be to look for coconuts up in the coconut palms over here. I would say coconut trees, but they're not actually true trees. They are monocotyledonous plants because when looking at the seed of the plant, they only have one section to it, whereas that's basically like corn or maize, whereas things like beans and other dicotyledonous plants will have two sections to the seed. And they are, of course, then true trees. This, however, palms as well as bananas over here are monocotyledonous plants and therefore not true trees. Okay, so if I ever do make the mistake, however, please note that I do know what is a tree and what isn't. Okay, we, however, need to still head out east, so let us do that. Now, again, I'm constantly hearing footsteps. In this case, I'm hearing the peccary, which is walking over there, the collared peccary. This game, even though this game is one of my all-time favorites, it is also one of the most terrifying games for me to play, especially in single player. I love playing this game in multiplayer, where I can rely on my teammates, but in order to actually get the true story experience, I will not be playing this multiplayer. I will only be playing this single player. East is in that general direction. So we'll need to probably get up there somehow. I think let's circle around the river and see what or who we find. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Let's harvest that, make some more arrows in a moment. Okay, so I've made 3 more arrows. We now have a total of 6. We still need to head 4323. That's where we currently are. So 4323, we are currently here. We actually need to head southeast from where we are, across the river again. We need to head to 4126. 4126, so that's 1 south, to east, so that is east, southeast, that's in that general direction. So let's head there. Oh, some beautiful flowers over here. We can hear a capybara calling somewhere. 4126, we need to head directly southeast. Oh, it's a peccary. Yo, just wondering what I heard behind me. So we need to head directly southeast, which is right up there. But the beautiful flowers here, known as bromeliads, they are actually very important for the poison dart frogs in order to actually reproduce. Because what you'll have would be the poison dart frog female actually exhibiting some kind of parental care, where she will lay an egg in one of those bromeliads in the leaf base, there where the leaves come together in the plant. I'll show you again in a moment. She'll lay an egg in there.
How do I get up there?
Okay, so we need to find a grappling hook in order to get up there, which means we look on the map. We are currently here, so we need to get a grappling hook in order to get to Lambda 2. So for now, we can't actually get to Lambda 2. However, we are going to try and get some kind of grappling hook. Now, as I was saying, with the bromeliads, which are those beautiful flowers over there, the poison dart frogs, which we do see hopping around occasionally, they would lay their eggs there at the base of the leaves. It generally fills up with water. It forms a tiny little pool of water. And because it isn't connected to a river system or any permanent body of water, there isn't really any predators that can live in those little temporary pools in the base of the leaves there. So the tadpoles that hatch are quite safe from predators, which is quite amazing. There's another little capybara over here. And then, of course, there's also no real food for the young, or for the tadpole of the poison dart frog. So the poison dart frog female will then hop around through the forest and constantly lay unfertilized eggs in the pools that she has laid her little eggs in. So she will visit these bromeliad flowers across the forest and go and lay eggs in them. What we also have over here is an ant's nest belonging to the bullet ant, which is said to be, or said to have, probably the most painful sting of all, well, creatures on this green earth. And apparently it is very similar, or someone likened it to walking over extremely hot coals while you have a 3-inch nail sticking into your foot. So apparently very painful. Now what we just did is we collected some of the ants over there, and we may need it for injuries or to heal injuries if we are to sustain them. Now, if we were to walk across that, if we are unarmored, we would actually be in a world of pain. However, we have got our armor on, so we are quite immune to wasps and ants at the moment, or at least to their stings and their bites, which is marvelous news for us. Now, our objective now, since we can't actually get up there, up to Lambda 2 location, we need to find a grappling hook, but we can also make and drink ayahuasca. And that is then what we are going to do. And that's going to be back at our camp. So I think let's head back there. That was in more or less a... Well, if we are here, we need to go directly west. So that is in that direction. I think let's head out over there and see what we find. Still keeping our eyes peeled for coconuts, because we need the coconuts in order to get water. Without that, we are going to really have a bit of a problem. Now we've got capybaras walking over there, again using the high ground here to our advantage, which is very, very crucial. Hopefully spot danger before the danger spots us. So let's have a look. There is also a wasp nest, which we also need to be careful of. I think it's Brazilian paper wasp, they call it. Or that's the species it is. So let's head still west, while keeping our eyes peeled for anything that may be dangerous while we are walking amongst the extremely vivid bromeliad flowers. Now here we've got a plant, a vine that can grow up to 30 meters in length, creeping up on the side of this Brazil nut tree. And this is the Banisteriopsis vine, or kaapi, as it is also called. And we are going to need this in a moment. our energy levels are going a little bit down. There's a capybara, okay. So in order to get our energy levels up, we are just going to eat some of the blue mushrooms over here. Generally, you don't just want to go and eat mushrooms that you don't know. It says that it's unknown mushrooms to us, so in real life, please do not just go and eat mushrooms. You're going to potentially end up, dead, which is not something you want to have happen. So we are going to continue walking now that we are rejuvenated with our amazing mushrooms that gave us energy and did not kill us. But that Banisteriopsis vine that I picked, the Kahapi vine, this one here, is it Banisteriopsis? I'm trying to think, have I got the name right? Banisteriopsis. That one, it's actually named after a clergyman, a priest of some kind, I believe, called Banister, or his surname at least was Banister, or that wasn't a snake, that was just an iguana. I am very skittish when I'm playing this game, as I would be if I were to, for some reason, be stranded in the Amazonian rainforest. But in any case, Banisteriopsis is one of the 2 ingredients of the ayahuasca, the hallucinogenic drink used by the tribes in South America. And this is where we are going to be making the ayahuasca. So I can probably chuck the Banisteriopsis vine down there. And it says requires small fire. So let's get started on that. Because this is now all we can do. We don't really have anything else we can do. So I guess let's get started on the fire. Okay, so I have made the fire, but I have realized now that I don't actually have something to actually make a fire with. So I don't have dry leaves or anything like that yet, which means I have chopped out some leaves in order to let that dry so that we can then make a fire. But while I was getting things, I did notice this little critter walking along over here, which is the Brazilian wandering spider, which is quite a dangerous spider, and there it is. So the Brazilian wandering spider, also called the banana spider, because there are reports of them actually being transported to other places around the world and potentially biting people in banana crates. So hence the name. However, they are not exclusively found around bananas. It's just that that is a common name given to it. We still don't have water. We don't have any coconuts that have dropped from the skies yet. So we are experiencing a bit of a problem in terms of that. I may need to go out and try to find some coconut half for us to actually use. For now, however, we've been unable to find any. Okay, so I have managed to make my way back to, well, this area where the collared peccaries are, or we saw them last time around here. And I have noticed that I've got a few leeches on me, which is, not a pleasant experience. But I also finally noticed this. A green coconut lying on the ground. So we can pick that up. This is going to be our salvation in terms of water. And we also have 2 up in the canopy over here, which we can throw down with a rock. And I see that was my last rock, so I just have to pick it up again so that I can throw it at that one up there again. And voila. So now we've got 3 coconuts in our backpack, which we can now drink, and it's pretty much crucial now, because as you can see there with the blue, our amount of water that we've got is running a little bit lower. But now that we are back here at the camp, we are going to harvest the coconuts, and we are going to eat it to get some fats as well. After we have drunk this one here, let's harvest it, et voila. And I think we're going to eat this, get some fats and carbohydrates, and then we just put these 2 coconut halves out on the ground for us to get some water when it rains. And then, since we have got 4 levels of insomnia already, I think let's have a bit of a nap so that we can get rid of our insomnia, or at least some levels of insomnia. And let's hope we don't have any issues when we wake up. We're going to be at 7 in the morning. Let's have a quick look around. Do I see any danger? Not yet. We are not currently being attacked by anything, it seems. We've got a little watch on the bottom left corner, which means that something of us, and that's proteins, that's low. Not ideal, but we're going to be doing something about that in a moment. Let's have a quick little drink here. Let's see whether the meat has dried. Indeed, the jaguar that we killed last time, that meat has dried and the protein has gone up a bit. Let's eat this one here. The dried meat, not as nutritious as the cooked meat would be, or meat in a stew form, but it's better than nothing. Now, we haven't made fires yet, so we haven't drawn attention to ourselves, which is good. But let's just make sure our water is okay. I think we can drink another coconut, put that out as well, because it is going to start raining again in a moment. Okay, so we can drink a little bit more, and we're going to drink the last one here, and then we are going to use it to make a bidon, a coconut bidon, which we can then use in order to actually store water that collects in these little bowls. But as you can see here, we do now also have dry leaves, which means we should be able to make a fire. We've got the Banisteriopsis scraps over here. We do need one more ingredient to make ayahuasca in this ritual bowl over here, and that is the Psychotria Viridis, which is this plant over here. I'm just going to call it the Psychotria. I don't actually know, I can't remember what the common name thereof is, but I do know it as Psychotria. That is the genus of plants that we have over there. So characterized by specific berries that you can kind of see over there as well. It's actually related to coffee plants, interestingly enough. And I just think that is quite awesome. Now we're just going to grab our Banisteriopsis scraps over there. And we need to actually make fire. And in order to do that, we do need a tool to again make fire. So let's just make a little quick and easy little hand drill here to make fire. Again, in real life, this would take a far longer time to actually make fire using 2 sticks. It's not going to be as easy as it is in this game, but I've got to save you some time. So let's just make the fire here. Wonderful. And now we can add the ingredients to make ayahuasca. So let us make it. And this is going to be interesting. Okay.
Hey, what are you doing here?
So there's a child randomly over there. Now, ayahuasca, it must be said, is a hallucinogenic drink made from 2 plants, the Banisteriopsis vine and the Psychotria Viridis plant. The Psychotria contains a compound that can make you hallucinate. However, your stomach enzymes usually actually break it down.
Hey, wait! What the...
And that prevents you from actually hallucinating. The Banisteriopsis vine, on the other hand, prevents your enzymes from breaking down that compound, and it allows it to be absorbed into the bloodstream. So just the one or the other will not result in you hallucinating, but both combined, that would result in this. However, do note that this is, I believe, illegal if you don't do it under certain, or in certain areas, under certain strict guidelines. You should not experiment with ayahuasca. And at this point, I want to introduce you to a phrase that I'm starting to use more and more frequently, and that is the phrase, "that guy is falling over orchids," which basically means he's tripping balls. Because orchids, which, you know, the flowers, the name orchids comes from orchis, which means testicles in Greek, I believe it was, or ancient Greek. Oh, here's a gateway over here. This is very interesting. There's a guy, very well endowed blue person there, and some weird drawings.
Hey, kid! Where are you?
Oh, wow.
Where am I?
That's a good question, Jake. Where are you? The phrase, as I said, they're falling over orchids, basically translates to tripping balls. It's just a way of saying that without people knowing that that is what you are saying. We are now walking into the darkness. They say if you see a long tunnel, stay away from the light, but we are walking into the darkness here.
Kid?
Hello?
Hello?
Anyone there?
Do you remember how we got here?
That must be Mia.
Mia? Is that you?
First contact is always difficult. They're extremely weary.
I don't remember anything. You were calling to me. I ran out of the tent and...
They have to be. Civilization is killing them, and we don't even realize it.
Mia.
Maybe it would have been better if I'd just died back then.
So as I've said, ayahuasca allows people to explore past traumas or past experiences in this case here. With these tribesmen here confronting Mia. Going to have a look there in a moment. Let's see, have a look here. There's the map. So this is a slightly different map from what we've got. There's a village marked over here. Some kind of campsite there. A boat. A grappling hook marked there. An arrow. And a landing spot. Not sure what these things mean. Now, obviously the village here was the main goal of whatever expedition this was. But yeah, a little bit difficult to make out exactly where... We don't know where we are. There are no coordinates here whatsoever. Nothing else that we can interact with. So let's just do that.
Mia,
When the American colonization began, the conquistadores brought their diseases here with them. Many tribes were wiped out, and the rest moved even deeper into the jungle. Chief Kuini went on and on about whole generations of his ancestors being decimated, until they received a gift from the jungle. And me? Naively, I assured them about our good intentions.
And that's obviously quite true and very sad, the fact that whenever people tend to come into an area, the people that were there are often not used to the diseases that come with those people that come for conquest. So the conquistadors, of course, brought all kinds of diseases.
these children, I've seen them before.
I miss them, you know? I wish I could see them again.
Things like the flu and the cold could be a big problem. So I'm just going to leave this for you to read. You can just pause and read, and then we'll carry on. And of course, if you just look at what they are wearing, of course, this is generally a very hot area in which they are, so not the need for a lot of clothes, but lots of ornamental things, like the headdress here, with a whole bunch of, most likely, feathers from some of the indigenous birds on the head there, and you can see same here on the arms. Quite decorative in this case. And then, of course, functional as well, the weaponry, the bow and the spear that they've got here.
Just let me.
They trusted us. Embraced us as their own. They even shared their secret with us. ¿Qué hemos hecho?
So what have we done, I believe would be the translation there. Now we haven't actually seen this place. I think we're probably going to see it later on in the story. Of course, dancing, very, very expressive way of communicating a variety of meanings. In South Africa, we had the Bushmen or the San that also danced for a variety of reasons. So here again, you can read that, pause and read that at your own time. It's quite a good background, Mia's notebook, quite good to understand what she came to do. And here she seems to be receiving something from Chief Kuini, which is over there with the ornamental headdress.
I just wanna...
So this is some kind of gift that Chief Kuini here is giving, well, Mia in this case. And Jake taking it now.
Jake, come in, please. I need you.
Mia? Wait! I'm here!
Finally, contact.
Hello? Jake? Please. I can't live without you.
Mia, is it really you? What happened? Are you safe?
Dios que estás vivo. Me?
So, translation,
I'm safe.
thank goodness you are alive.
Trust me.
I believe that was.
Tell me what happened to you. I was losing it trying to contact you.
I was hoping you could tell me that. You called me in the middle of the night, and I ran out to look for you, and all I remember is running and falling?
Wait, you fell? That doesn't sound good. Okay, take it easy. Breathe. Do you know where you are?
I am in a village.
I have no idea.
That's all I know.
Give me some clue as to your whereabouts. A landmark or something.
Found a map. It's half burnt, but there's a location marked on it. Lambda 2. Not sure what it is. Do you?
No, I don't think
There.
so. Can you get there?
Nope.
Not without climbing gear.
You left me.
Mia? Come again? You're breaking up.
Without hope.
Mia? Mia! Oh, fuck! Battery's dead.
Okay, wait for the radio battery to charge up. Now that would most likely be a solar battery then in that case, so when the daylight comes along, the battery should be okay. And we are almost at daytime. Relatively simple base camp that we have thus far. Let's see, it's still empty, the water bowls here, great. We can't really do much at the moment. Although there was, of course, this little path that we followed, so we made the ayahuasca here, and then proceeded to go down this trail. I always get a fright when I hear that sound of the iguana. Iguana, interestingly enough, in some of the areas that they invade, and they can be quite invasive in many areas around the world, especially tropical areas, they are called bamboo chicken, or chicken of the trees, and I assume that's because they kind of have a chickeny taste to them. Now, what we've got in South Africa is a mushroom, and that's all around the world, I believe, as well. Latiporia sulphureus, which is called chicken of the woods, which, believe it or not, actually does taste, and the texture is very similar to chicken. And I've managed to, this year, I believe, this year was the first time in my life that I even had chicken of the woods, or that mushroom. Pretty sure I heard a spider when I was walking here. Maybe not. Anyway, carrying along the trail here. Let's see. This is where we exited. Interesting. So there's a whole bunch of squiggles on the ground here, and it seems this rock, because there was a rock in the vision that actually blocked it here, and that seems to now be gone. Now the battery of the radius seems to have recharged, so let's have a look.
Hello? Mia? You there?
Jake? I'm freaking out here. Why did you go silent? What happened?
Battery died. I had to charge it, and we can't talk long. Just tell me where you are. I'll find you somehow.
Me? I told you. I'm safe. Let's focus on you, okay? Report everything. I'll always be here for you if you need to talk.
Well, that's good to know. Because in these situations, you need someone to talk to. Otherwise, you're gonna go insane.
Okay, will do. Over and out.
Okay, and that is, I believe, where we are going to end it today. So I am now just going to quickly set up a little save spot here for myself. But I will be back with you next week for another episode of, well, An Ecologist Plays Green Hell. Thank you all for watching and joining me on the adventure. If you've got any questions, please feel free to post it below, or any comments on what you think we should be doing next. Of course, we are going to be following the storyline as we continue here, and we'll see where that takes us. So until next time, stay safe, and I will see you soon.